Okay, so I want you girls back here, and I want you counting our collections. I want you counting together, okay?
Okay.
All right. So,
So these are pennies.
yep, they are pennies. So as you're counting them, how are we going to say it? What? One what?
Penny. Wait, 1 cent.
It is 1 cent, but what decimal would this be?
One.
Okay, so if a dollar is my whole,
That would be 1/10.
okay, so you're telling me it takes 10 pennies to make a dollar?
100.
It takes 100. Yep, so these will be, so this will be
100.
0 and 100, so 100. Okay, so y'all count these out.
200. 400. 500. 600. 700. 800. 900. 1000. 1100. What was it? 1100. 1200. 1300. 1400. 1500. 1600. 1700. 1800. 1900. 2000.
Okay, pause for just a minute. Keep that in your head. Tell me how you're organizing your collection.
We're doing three rows. We have 3 rows of 7.
Okay, so is that going to be the most efficient way you could organize it?
No.
What might make it a little easier? Like
We
if
could group it up. Yeah, we could maybe do this, which would be just 3 of 3, which could be 9, and then.
so what if I stepped away from the collection? I can't remember how many I have, but I want to quickly look.
We can look. Yeah. We can look at 7 and then 3, and we know that's 21.
Okay.
But what if we don't know this is 7? We can count.
Okay.
But I just feel like this is not efficient.
All right.
There's a middle in it.
All right. So if you want to keep 7, that's fine. But if
20, we're at 20. You're going to 21.
okay. All right. Okay. So keep going. All right. So 2100s.
Yeah, that's 2100. No, that was 21. Oh yeah, 2200. 2300. 2400. 2500. 2600. 2700. 2800. 2900. 3000. 3100. 3200. 3300. 3400. 3500. 3600. 3700. 3800. 3900. 4000. 4100. 4200.
Okay. All right. So let's pause right there. So you've got how much money?
34. 34?
Hmm?
Oh yeah, she added one, so that would be 34.
Is it 34? I heard you say 4200s.
Wait a second.
All right, so look back at your count. Remember, that's why we organize a certain way. So if we forget.
Yeah, it's 42 because 6 times 7 is 42. It would be 4200.
Okay, so you've got 6 rows of 7?
Mm-hmm, that would be 42.
Okay.
Then plus 1, that would be 42.
Okay, so we're at 4300s. All right, so I want you to record that on your recording sheet.
So write it as a decimal?
Mm-hmm. So how are you going to write it?
0.43. Wait, no, since it's going to be the hundredths. Yeah, that's right. I got confused for a second. What? Up there's a 1/10, 100th, 1000th, and right now we're in the hundreds.
Okay, so we've got 43 pennies. So how are you going to record that as a decimal?
0.42.
Okay.
43. Yeah, it's 1. Remember? Oh.
All right, so I'm hearing you say point. What's another way I can read a decimal?
40 to
So if I have $0, I have 43 cents. How could I read that decimal?
you could say like in money, you can say 4,300. Or yeah, 4,300. We could just say that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I could. Well, no, I could say 4,300s, but I can say I have $0 and 4,300. So let's practice whenever we see a decimal. Let's practice saying and. Okay. So instead of saying point, because a point could just refer to anything. Like I'm gonna point to this, or I'm gonna make a little
So we say
dotted point. So we
zero
want to read our decimals as and. Okay. So 0 and
4,300.
Okay, good. All right, so how are you going to write that as a fraction?
We're gonna put the 4. 43. We're gonna put the 4 in the tenth. So
Okay, so just show me, okay?
There would be a 40 on top of the 10 as a fraction because it's in the tenths place, and then the 3 would be in the hundredths because that's why we say hundredths because it's on the end.
Okay, so I see you've written yours a little differently than Ari. So y'all tell me about, talk to each other about what you chose to do.
I chose to break it apart because if it's in a fraction, then I was thinking it would be 40 over. Huh?
Oh no, speak up.
Because it's over 10 and it's in the tenths place. Because we're in the hundredths. That's why I say 4,300ths, and then the 40 is in the tenths place. So then I thought I put 40 on top of 10, and then I put 3 on top of 100 because it's in the hundredths.
Okay, so let's look. What if I just had this number written down? How would you write that as a fraction?
0 and 4. I would write the 4 over the tenths.
Okay, so you would say it's 4/10, but here you have 40/10.
Because it's in the tenths. Oh. I think I just messed up my time.
It's okay. Okay, so you kind of wrote yours out in expanded form.
Yeah.
And you wrote yours out. Okay, different way. All right, so are they both correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just probably put like a little addition sign just so you know that these are connected. Okay. All right, so now I want you to shade in 4,300ths in your model there.
4,300. So, hundredths is just a small piece. So that would be.
So like this is one whole.
We're going to trade in 4 of the 10. Okay, that's 4, and then there is 3 of the hundredths, so I color in 4 1.
So while she's working, Riley, tell me. So how'd you know to color that in? Like why didn't you count every single one?
Because together. Okay. So the reason why I put 4/10 is because when I say 4,300, the 4 when it's in the tenths place, and we would color in 4 tens because it would be in the tenths place. Then I colored 3 ones because in the hundreds it got smaller. It was divided 10, so then that's why I colored 3 ones.
And so, and y'all knew that these were rows of 10. Okay, so that makes it efficient. And so that's what we always want to be efficient. So I'm glad that y'all didn't have to count every single one. Okay, that's good.
I just used 2.
Yep, I see. Okay, so let's look at your next question. All right, so what if you counted dimes instead of pennies? So imagine these are all dimes. You've got 43 dimes. Okay, so what would your amount be?
Wait. Dimes is 10. And we have
Mm-hmm.
42.
I have
I
43.
mean 43. I'm sorry, that one right there is getting me every time. So it would add a 0. So that'd be 400.
Wait, so you're telling me it would be 4,300 plus 0?
No, it would be plus 10, and then 10 has, you add 1 0.
Okay, so our place value is shifting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that would be 420 because it's in tenths, and then 10 times 42 would be.
Oh, 43. Okay, so I want you to write an equation.
So all this is 43.
Mm-hmm. So we've got 4,300s.
Okay, then we're add times 10 because there is 43, and then these are all like 10.
Mm-hmm. So
So
if
we
we're,
have to time.
yep. So if we're saying these times,
Yep, they're all dimes. So that would mean that it would be 4, 30. Wait. Wait, 30. That's not it.
okay. All right. So Riley, can you kind of talk to Ari?
What I did,
Explain what you did on yours.
so what I did was 0 and 43 times 10 because these would all be 10. So we'd have to times it.
Okay. So why do you say these would be 10?
Because a dime counts as 10.
Okay.
And then, if you times 10, you would have to add a 0.
Nope. We're not adding 0.
No, we're multiplying a 0.
We're multiplying 10. Okay. So our place value is shifting by 10. Okay. So remember, we always want to use that math language. Okay.
So now it's shifting, and then what I got was $4.30.
All right. So Ari, let's get started. Let's write our equation. So what's the equation going to be? So what amount am I starting with?
You're starting with 40. No, 3. Well, yeah, 43.
Okay. 43 hundredths. Okay. So go ahead and write that down. All right. So we know we're starting with that.
It gets me every time when I say 42 and it's really supposed to be 43.